Hello, it's Judy from Coffee, Cookies, and Books. And what we've got for you today is book haul number 2. Can't wait to show you what I've got in the way of mysteries, thrillers, a little bit of sci-fi. If that's what you're interested in, then you're going to want to stick around. Okay, so what I have to share with you here is cozy mysteries, a little bit of sci-fi, fantasy, and a ton of thrillers. So I have picked up quite a bit of this, lots of it from Book of the Month and Aardvark, which I will share with you. But we're going to start with cozy mysteries, and I actually have quite a few of them. So first one, now most of these I would say have been referred by Ava Marie and the Beach Bookworm. Love watching the two of them, and they always have a great amount of mysteries, especially cozy mysteries, and I like to pick them up whenever I can. I do try to get a lot of my cozy mysteries, if I can, off the book outlet. They, a lot of times, will have a ton of them. They don't always have, because a lot of cozy mysteries run in a series, so they don't always have the first and second in the series, but whenever they do, and I haven't read them and I want to start them, I will grab them. So I do have a few that are kind of a little bit like that, but yeah, and I have like one that I was able to get book 1 and 2. So this one is Death by Dumpling. This is the first in the Noodle Shop Mystery series by Vivian Xian. And it's Welcome to Holy Noodle House, where the Chinese food is to die for. So I love that. A lot of cozy mysteries do tend to center around cafes, bakeries, restaurants, things of that nature. And I just loved the idea of this. So it says here, the last place Lanolly thought she would ever end up is back at her family's restaurant. But after a brutal breakup and a dramatic workplace walkout, she figures that a return to Cleveland area to help wait tables is her best option for putting her life back together, even if that means having to put up with her mother, who is dead set on finding her a husband. So yeah, I think that's really great. And apparently the property manager turns up dead. Should be fun. These little ones, these little pocket ones. I don't like pocket books typically, but I don't mind them in a cozy mystery because they're not usually all that long. So that's the first one. Second one I picked up is One Bad Apple, which is the first in the Orchard Mystery series by Sheila Connolly. This is just like the cutest small book on the planet, okay? But I will say this one has like extra tiny print on the inside, like super, 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 super tiny, like super tiny. But that's okay. It's like, about 250 pages. And it says, an apple a day keeps the corpses away. When Meg Corey unexpectedly finds herself out of a job, an apartment, and a relationship, similar to the last book, she seizes the opportunity to renovate the Massachusetts colonial house her mother has inherited from distant relations, and to sell it quickly for share of the profits. But Meg gets more than she bargained for when she learns that renovating a 200-year-old house is no easy task, and that the gorgeous 15-acre apple orchard on the property is in danger of being paved over by developers. And she definitely isn't expecting to run into her ex-boyfriend floating dead in her new septic tank. Oh my God. Yeah, like, hello. So freaking good. Oh my gosh. And that sounds like a good one. Okay. Next one. A Very Woodsy Murder by Ellen Byron, which is a Golden Motel mystery series. So I think there's only 2 out so far in the series, but I've heard nothing but good things. It says, new motel owner Dee Stern has checked out of the familiar comforts in Studio City and checked into the quaint village of Found Gold, running a rustic getaway in the woods. Sure beats LA traffic until murder ruins the peace and quiet. So, yeah, sounds good. This is a nice floppy book. I was like when I got it, I'm like, oh, I mean, I love that. So, can't wait to get into that one. So good. Next one is like Love Bites by Cynthia St. Aubin. Um, Tales from the Alpha Art Gallery. Love Bites is the first book in a snarky supernatural mystery series with a heroine who has her priorities in order, solve the murder, save the day, but most important, feed her cats. That's I love it. I loved the cover. I think I don't know what it is about the cover. I don't know, maybe because it feels like there's blood dripping down the cover. What does that say about me? I have no idea. But anyways, I loved that one. Then this one is Get Away with Murder from Diane Kelly. It is I think the first book in the Mountain Lodge Mysteries. So this one, another great flop. I love these floppy books so much. In the Blue Ridge Mountains, secrets hide behind every hill. As if hitting the half-century mark wasn't enough, which means she's 50. Okay, older FMC, like that. Misty Murphy celebrated her landmark birthday by amicably ending her marriage, and investing her settlement in a dilapidated mountain lodge at the top of the Blue Ridge Mountains. With the old inn teetering on both a bluff and bankruptcy, she must have lost her ever-loving mind. Luckily, handyman Rocky Crowder has a knack for rehabbing virtual ruins and for doing it on a dime. And to Misty's delight, the lodge is fully booked on opening night. Every room filled with flexible folks who'd slipped into spandex and ascended the peak for a yoga retreat with plans to namaste for a full week. Misty and her guests are feeling zen, at least until the yoga instructor is found dead. Of course. Yeah, love it. I mean, I love the cover. I thought the cover was beautifully done. Great illustration. The cat, everything. Yeah. Usually these have cats or dogs in them, I find. So the next one is book one, and this is book one, and this is book two, and it is Baker Street Mystery by Valerie Burns. The first one is 2 parts sugar, 1 part murder. Second one is Murder is a Piece of Cake. And of course you can see the dog. I can't remember what is a 250-pound English Mastiff named Baby. That's the freaking dog. I'm like, oh, come on. This is like, it's too good to be true. I just love that. And this is Maddie Montgomery. When Maddie Montgomery's groom is a no-show to their live stream wedding. So it's got a bit of a social influencer element to it. It's a disaster that no amount of filtering can fix. But a surprise inheritance offers a chance to regroup and rebrand, as long as Maddie is willing to live in her late great-aunt Octavia's house in New Biscuit, Michigan for a year, running her bakery and caring for a 250-pound English Mastiff named Baby. Awesome. So obviously there's mystery. So that's that one. And then this one centers around the spring festival. And then I think the third one, she's getting married again, or going to try to get married again. Anyway, yeah, I love those. I thought they were kind of fantastic. And then the last one that I have is from Tanya Kappas. Now, she does the Campers and Cozy mystery series, which I absolutely love. I have 4 or 5 of them. I think I'm on the one that comes up for Christmas, so that's going to get read in December with my Christmas books, which you will see on my Christmas TBR. But this one is slightly different. It's called Sleight of Hand, a Macy Dose mystery. This is book 1. Macy Dose knew the weight of secrets all too well. Once a troublemaker in her small town, Kentucky town near Cincinnati, in her small Kentucky town near Cincinnati, She struck a dangerous bargain to become a confidential informant for the police. But when betrayal led her to send a family member behind bars, the lines between right and wrong blurred. Unable to bear the weight of her actions, she fled into the secluded heart of Appalachia, praying her past wouldn't catch up with her. So I liked the fact that this maybe is not quite so cozy, bit more suspense built into it, but it's still short. It's only a little over 150 pages, which a lot of Tanya Kappa's books are like that, and that's what I like about them. So I thought I would give that one a try. I have a bit of the hiccups. It's like, okay. So now what we're going to go through is the books that I would say sort of fall under sci-fi, maybe with a bit of fantasy built into it. First one is 100% sci-fi, and that is Murderbot Diaries Volume 2. So this is 2 books. It is Rogue Protocol and Exit Strategy by Martha Wells. Now, I actually have Volume 1 and I have Volume 3, so I needed to get Volume 2, and I was able to get that off of the Book Outlet as well, because I bought them all off Book Outlet. So they had it, I grabbed it, and yeah. So I actually have all 3 now. And so technically the first one is 2 stories, Volume 3 is 2 stories, and this one is 2 stories. So that means that each story is about 150 pages, in around that, 150 to 200 pages in each of the stories. So very much looking forward to, I like in the first one, like I read the first story in the first book, which is, oh, what the heck is it? All Systems Red. I read that, absolutely loved it. 100% loved it. So I do have to finish and move on to Artificial Condition. And then there's Fugitive Telemetry and System Collapse in book 3. So yeah, so I have to read all of those. Next one is called Newscraft World 1, The Zombie Apocalypse, a novel by Leonard Buford. Now, this is a lit RPG sci-fi adventure. Can't remember who mentioned this book, but they talked about it, that it has a very similar feel to Dungeon Crawler Carl, and yeah, the way the characters work, although I think the main character in this is a female. And this has a lot more of an AI feel to it, but I was like, okay, got to give it a try, right? It's just, it's almost 400 pages, but I think it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it is self-published. Love to support those self-published authors. Yeah, so it says Newscraft is a lit RPG sci-fi adventure. Noose brain implants have replaced smartphones, allowing telepathy, perfect memory recall, and seamless augmented reality. But when an AI named Jim seizes control of the entire network, millions find themselves trapped in a deadly game. I thought it sounded fascinating, so love that. And then the last one that I have that's sci-fi based is Wolves of Calla by Stephen King, and this is book 5 in the Dark Tower series. Don't need to go into a long explanation about this, but I am recollecting them all in this format, which I absolutely love. And I do have, now book 1 is a reread for me, and that is on my September TBR. Don't know if I'm going to get to it. Now, if I don't get to it, again, this is going to be a series that probably the first 2 or 3 I'll put on my must-reads list for 2026. And we'll go from there with it, because I do want to get it started and kind of get back into it. Yeah, so book 5. I'm just picking them up as I go. Similar to kind of like Dungeon Crawler Carl, I've been kind of picking them up as I go. And yeah, love that series so much. All right, so we're going to get on to the next batch of books, which is the thrillers that I have. Thrillers and horror, I guess. Best description for them. Okay, so let's get into what we have for our thrillers. Most of these, outside the first two, are all Book of the Month and aardvark, because that tends to be where I buy a lot of my thrillers and horrors and that sort of thing. They have usually an amazing selection, so that's where I buy them from. But yeah, anyway, first one I picked up is Naked in Death. It's the first in the Eve Dallas series by J.D. Robb. I loved the sound of this. Cannot remember where I grabbed this from. Probably Book Outlet. Probably. Um, it, or maybe I got it from somewhere else. I can't remember. Anyway, really wanted to try this. I've heard a lot of really great things, and it is the Lieutenant Eve Dallas walks the line between seductive passion and scandalous murder. I loved the diagram on the front. I thought the cover was fantastic. So can't wait to try that one. Next one is the brand new one by Karen Slaughter, which is We Are All Guilty Here. This is a new series by her. I just picked it up. The first in the thrilling mystery series, The New North Falls. Welcome to North Falls, a small town where everyone knows everyone, or so they think, until the night of the fireworks, when two teenage girls vanish, the town ignites. For Officer Emily Clifton, it's personal. She turned away when her friend's daughter needed help, and now she must bring her home. But as Emily combs through the puzzle the girls left behind, she realizes she never really knew them. Nobody did. Every teenage girl has secrets, but who would kill for them, and what else is the town hiding? So, loved it. Yeah, I read Blindsided by Karen Slaughter. Very brutal, but fantastic book. Loved it. And I have the second one in the series, Kiss Cut. I think it's right behind me here somewhere. And can't wait to read that too. So this one, I very much looking forward to it. All right, so now we're on to Book of the Month, what I got from Book of the Month. And this is The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Cañas. And this, I believe, is a like demonic possession horror. When a demonic presence awakens deep in a Mexican silver mine, the young woman it seizes must turn to the one man she shouldn't trust. So this takes place in 1765. So this is obviously a type of historical horror, and it talks about, a plague. And yeah, so sounds fantastic. I mean, I wanted to get it when it first came out on Book of the Month. Again, another one where my cart was full, didn't have other options. And then on some of the months that I skip, you're not getting anything. So this past month, I only had 2 books in there. So I thought, you know what? Time to grab it. So I did. And am looking forward to reading that one. Next one I grabbed is a new one just coming out. Rachel Harrison's Play Nice. Now, I read Such Sharp Teeth by her. Loved it. Thought it was fantastic. That was a werewolf story. So, like, all of her books, I think, have a little bit of a supernatural element to it, but it's like current day. And I just loved the way she handled that one. This one's similar. So this is dealing with a possessed house. It's just waiting for you to come home. Cleo Louise Barnes leads a picture-perfect life as a stylist and influencer, but beneath the glossy veneer, she harbors a not-so-glamorous secret. She grew up in a haunted house. Well, not haunted, possessed. After Cleo's parents' messy divorce, her mother, Alex, moved Cleo and her sisters into a house occupied by a demon, or so Alex claimed. That's not what Cleo's sisters remember, or what the courts determined when they stripped her of custody after she went off the deep end. But Alex was insistent. She even wrote a book about her experience in the house. I did yeah. Dying to read it. Sounds good. And yeah, I have this one. I think I have another one by her somewhere. I can't remember. I have way too many books, but I just keep adding to them. Okay. The next batch are from Aardvark. The top two just came in. They were Aardvark's September selections. And the first one is Coffin Moon by Keith Rawson. Now, I just wanted to mention, I'm a little annoyed because I bought this and then like a few days later, I get a email from the Broken Binding and they have this incredible version of this, okay? Like just absolutely gorgeous with the sprayed edges. And I'm like, I'm so annoyed because I bought the Aardvark one. I'm not annoyed that I got the book because the book sounds awesome, but I'm kind of just yeah. So, I mean, I'm kind of the opinion that if I liked the book, I would get but I'm not really, I don't really care. Yeah. If I had not bought this, I would have bought that because I think it's like a gorgeous, gorgeous book. But anyway, from the author of the exciting, suspenseful, horrifying Fever House, a Vietnam veteran and his adopted niece hunt and are hunted by the vampire that slaughtered their family. So this takes place in 1975, Portland, Oregon, and it has to do with a vampire. Vampire comes, I think, kills his wife. So it's him and his niece that are battling it, and I loved the sound of it. And of course, it's vampire. Perfect time of year for that, October and Halloween coming. Yeah. Then I have Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle, and they did a beautiful job. Aardvark did a stunning job on this one. So we have this and this here, and yeah, that there. There's no special end papers or anything like that, but I just really loved it. And their covers always feel really cool, but this just has a bit of a different feel because this is foiled. But yeah, loved the book. I thought they did a great job. But even this cover, I think this cover is stunning, So this says, 4 years ago, an unthinkable disaster occurred in what is later known as a low probability event. 8 million people were killed in a single day, all of them dying in improbable, bizarre ways, strangled by balloon ropes, torn apart by exploding manhole covers, attacked by a chimpanzee wielding a typewriter, a day of freak accidents that proved anything is possible, no matter the odds. Luck is real now, and it's not always good. So we'll leave it at that. I believe it takes place in Las Vegas, which of course it does, because it's all about luck and Lucky Day. And we've got is it the Joker on the front from the cards? Is it the Joker? I think it's the Joker. Is that the Joker? Anyway, yeah, that one sounds amazing. Then, from Aardvark, I've picked up Salt Bones by Jennifer Gavin. I can't, special? No, this one's just, I love their covers. So their covers are always coordinated to the jacket usually. And, oh, they're so sleek and soft. Yeah, their covers always feel so fantastic. And, yeah. So this one is I think a horror. And it says 3 women and one twisted family race for answers in this gripping retelling of Persephone and Demeter set in the Mexicali borderlands. So I loved the sound of this one too, and it really kind of fits the season as well, if I'm being perfectly honest. Maybe has maybe a bit more of a summer vibe to it, but just because it's in the south, in Mexicali desert, that kind of thing. Now this one, The Once and Future Me by Melissa Pace, this has a bit of a sci-fi feel, but also a thrilling suspense aspect to it. It says, dark matter meets Girl Interrupted in this gripping psychological thriller about a young woman teetering on the edge of reality. It's Virginia, 1954. So basically, she wakes up in a psychiatric hospital. She doesn't know what the hell is going on. And it has to do, and I think it's like in her dreams, she's seeing herself in another reality. So that's where the whole dark matter part of it kind of comes into play, because that is what dark matter is about different realities. So yeah, The Once and Future Me. I loved the sound of that. Right up my alley, because that's my kind of book. And then the last one from Aardvark is Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. And like, come on, I loved the cover. And this is older, wiser, deadlier, a retired serial killer's quiet life is upended by an unexpected visitor. To protect her secret, there's only one option left. What's another murder? I have never read anything by Samantha Downing before, so this would be my first. And I love the fact that it's about an older woman who's retired. I actually think she's probably my age bracket. It says her most exciting nights are spent at weekly bingo games at the local church. Yeah, that would be me. Okay. So that's it. Those are all of my books that I had that were under the thriller portion. Now, as far as Book of the Month and Aardvark are concerned, I do have links below for them. The Aardvark one is just a basic link. The Book of the Month one is my referral link. So it would really be fantastic if you could give them a try. Both of them, I think they're well worth it. And you know what? If you don't find anything from month to month, like you pay for the first month, like you pay whatever month was the first month, but then you can skip and you have that credit still sitting there from that first payment, but you can skip as many as you want after. So there's no pressure to buy if there isn't anything in there that you don't like. And I find that, the price of the books is like super reasonable, extremely good. So yes, so that's it. Would love it very much if you could like and subscribe. I am on my last 100 subscribers, on my way to 1,000. I'm like so excited. I'm determined I'm going to get there before the end of the year. Fingers crossed, everyone, that we can do it. I think I can do it before that. I mean, typically, I think on a monthly basis, I'm adding somewhere around 50 to 75 a month. So maybe we can do it before the end of the year, but I can't do it without your help. So would really very much love it. And that's it for me. I will see you in the next video.